Hey everybody. Oh, that was like literally I clicked it and like everything showed up except our videos and it was like bloop bloop. I was like, oh, thank God. It was that pause. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to the show. This
That's
software is gonna give me a heart attack one of these days, man. I'm telling you.
you
Gonna
mean it
gonna go to
hasn't
an early
already?
grave. Oh, let me get you on. I forgot to put you on earbuds. Let me do that. All right.
Yes. Hey, at least I'm not like hearing myself through your speakers, so
Not,
that's good.
not yet. Just wait. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Hey
Thank you for coming to
everybody.
hang out with us.
Hola
Mm.
amigos.
Hello, Stu. Hello, Ho Ching Young.
All right, let's
Hello,
see.
Private Bumpkin. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing
Like
good.
you can see the
Good
pop up.
evening,
I'm
wherever you
picking
guys
I'm
are.
picking the my settings on your over across your screen, Mark. It's getting sent on. Let me go. Headphones. There we go. Do headphones. All right. Good. Talk to
Yeah,
me.
guys, you get to see exactly how this works. Whoa,
Yeah.
you see how the sausage is being made.
So unprofessional.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wants to see how the sausage is made. Oh
I mean,
man, what a
unless,
day. It's been a long
yes,
day.
what a day.
It's been a
Yes.
really long
So
day.
strange. It's been a, like I don't know why today felt so long. It's not been a hard day. It's not been tough. It's been a pretty smooth sailing kind of day. I mean, for me at least. But I don't know why. It's just felt long.
It has. It's been a very long one for me. I've had
Yeah.
meetings and calls and everything. It's been so. Pardon me if I'm a little fuzzy. I might actually be on my A game. I could be just in like that. When I do videos, it's weird. I don't know. I'm actually curious. I'm gonna ask you this, Mark, if you do the same thing. Like when I
Mhm.
do videos and I get up there and I start, or if I have to give like a speech in front of like a big crowd, I
Yes.
I prep for it, so I'm ready. I know exactly like in my mind how I want to take
Hmm.
it and the framework and all
Yes.
that. But
Yes.
when I get up there, like a lot of times I'll finish it. I'm like, what happened? I don't remember any of it. Like you kind of like
Oh
half
yeah, for sure.
you kind of half
Yeah.
black out. Not it's not because of nerves. I'm like, I'm prepped. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm
Yeah.
comfortable. I'm
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a little nervous before they go on stage or whatever. Video, I'm
Hmm.
not anymore. But like in front of a huge crowd, I get a little nervous. But once I walk on stage, once I like get out there, 1,000 people, I don't care. Um,
Yeah.
but like you kind of black out and you're done and you're like, what happened? Like, did that happen? Did
How?
we
What? Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Anybody else in chat, by the way, does
Yeah,
that
I
happen
get
to
it.
you? If you have to give like a presentation, you have to lead a conference call, whatever, you kind of like
Yeah.
just black out?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Like I'll go like just last week. I had to do a call with a company in the U.S. Just kind of setting things up for the company here. And after I finished, I was like, okay, what did I talk? What did I talk about?
Yeah, what happened?
Thank God I took notes.
Yeah.
But no, like I think it's more like for me, I think a really good example of that is going back and looking at some videos I did maybe 2, 3 years ago. And I'll watch it. I'm like, man, I said that. Why did I
Oh,
say that? I have no memory of saying this.
yeah. The old videos too. It's like, I think I've said this before in many of my videos. Like, I'll go back and watch. It's interesting because I think you progress. Every year I'm like, oh, I've kind of hit my level. Like, I'm not going to progress anymore. Like, I've been doing this for a decade, you know? And then I go back and watch a video from like a year or two ago and I'm like, I sucked back then. And then I look back 2 years from there, like I
Yeah,
suck. And you go way back and you're
yeah,
terrible. I'm like, oh my God, you go back like 8 years in the channel. I'm
yes,
like, oh,
yeah,
but I leave them
yeah,
up. I want to leave them up because I think people need to see like the
hmm,
progression. But
yeah,
like,
yeah,
or back in
for sure. And
Fat
then,
Jonathan days. Oh, the videos.
oh man, you're a different person.
I
You're a
am a dip.
different human being.
There's been I have gone through some life changes for the positive, especially in the past few years. I would definitely say the producer.
Hmm.
I got to give the producer some mad props for that. She's helped me kind of give me a darn good direction in life. You know, like kind of give me
Mm, that's good.
instead of being on autopilot.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I would say I'm slowly getting there, in the kind of in the same boat. Got more things coming up in life. Hopefully, the craziness can finally settle down in a year or two. So,
Well, dude, I got like a
fingers
decade on
crossed.
you, so like, I
Yeah, I know.
like, it's like I still
Yeah,
feel
but
like I
then but
haven't.
but then again, I lived in Hong Kong for the last 12 years, so I think that has to count for like times two.
Yeah, that'll age you, man. That'll throw some wrinkles on you and some gray hair. So,
Ah,
but anyway,
man.
here's to a strong zero evening.
Very nice. I'm drinking a zero cider triple. from 7-Eleven.
Oh, those are pretty good though.
Yeah.
Those sodas, they're
You
non-alcoholic.
know, I just wanted tonic water tonight, but
You've
it
been
is what
doing
it
that.
is. The producer got me this. It's good.
Cool.
You know, yeah. We have I would have probably wanted to drink something too, but two things. I had a really crazy weekend this last weekend.
Oh, and we're going to
So,
talk
like,
about that too. By the way, we're going to totally talk
I'm
about that.
done. I'm so done.
You
I'm
told me a little of
I'm
the
not
story.
touching anything.
You told me a little of the story, and we didn't get to finish the story
Yeah,
because
man.
if you don't know, Mark and I get on, and I'm usually hammering out like all the
Yeah.
problems, technical, and like where we just talk while I'm making sure everything works, and
Yes.
from a tech standpoint, and he gives me updates like, "Oh, that's what I did." And I'll do the same thing because we can kind of autopilot and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it. We're doing it for a year plus now, but yeah, it's one of those things. Like he was telling me the story, I'm like, I'm trying to work, and I'm like, huh? What? So you're all going to hear the story. So we're going to give it.
Where?
Yeah, you did what? And huh? And
Yeah.
huh?
It was one of those.
Yeah, it's one of those. It was usually it's like, oh, it's cool, man. You did some fun stuff, no big deal. I was like, huh? Like, tell me more. Like, all right, I'm like,
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm like, yes, bring it.
Yes, keep going. And you're still alive
Mm.
because
Yeah. And you're here? Are you really here?
yeah, yeah. So there's gonna Stu, I hope you're in chat because
He is. Yep, I saw him.
The preamble of this dovetails nicely into the main story, but we'll get there.
Mm.
So anyways, the reason why I want Stu to be here is because Stu actually now has a bit of geographical knowledge about where all of this transpired.
Oh yeah,
So
because he
it'll be that's right. You were there just 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
You were here. Basically, where all of this happens, Stu, you were in that area. So as I go through the story, you can visualize this.
and that's the fun part when you go and visit. You get some reference, some point of reference. I think one of
Yes.
the biggest things, and I know this sounds my geek's gonna show, is once you visit Japan and you start watching and you
Yes.
watch anime, you realize
Yeah.
like if you're a Westerner to watch anime, you don't really maybe appreciate if you've never visited Japan, the amount of detail they put into the background of shows.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
that's very true.
streets, the vending machines, all the little details. But now that
Yo, that actually looks like this.
but now I've been there, what, 8, 10 times or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you watch them like Chainsaw Man. I've been watching Chainsaw Man, right?
Mhm.
And the level of detail, like the vending machines, they put like everything in the background. It's like, man, they have spent so much, like absolutely so much work
Yeah.
doing the background scene. Like they didn't have to, but they do. It's just it's so real. It's like you're there. It's like, okay, this is
Yeah.
happening on the street
Yeah.
in Japan. So
Yeah.
yeah. Like Stu said in chat, they carbon
Yeah,
copy
so-
the scenes perfectly. I was like, yeah, they do.
Yeah. So before we get into that,
Hmm.
so did you do anything for Thanksgiving? Also, happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving to everybody back stateside. I think Pumpkin's the only one in chat right now that's stateside
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Pumpkin. Yeah. Freedom's here.
at this moment.
Freedom-
Oh, Freedom
Freedom,
is
yeah.
from Indonesia.
Oh, Freedom's from Indonesia with the name like Freedom
Yeah,
762.
this is my boy Joel from
Okay.
Indonesia.
But yeah, so I didn't really do squat. Like this is a
Yeah.
weird year. So like normally I get a little bit like Thanksgiving's a little nostalgic. I wouldn't say homesick, but it's kind of like if I'm
Mhm.
here. Normally, and like Stu said, do you Skype call your fams? Normally I would, but this year, like my mom's on like a cruise in the Middle East, like Egypt, Israel, all that. My like my dad's doing it with his other fam because my parents were like divorced, remarried. My sis is up with her husband's family, like up in Michigan. So like nobody's around. So like I'm like, well, they're not really doing a cohesive Thanksgiving thing. But I am heading to the States in a couple weeks, or a little less than a few weeks. The producer and I, we're gonna be there for 4 weeks ish. We're gonna do a little bit of West Coast and then 3 weeks on the East Coast with the fam, and then coming back before Chinese New Year. So that'll be it. So
Yes,
Christmas is going to be it. She gets to see Christmas in the States, gets to do a New Year in the States, and get to kind of enjoy all that.
Wow.
The food,
Pumpkin.
bumpkin, bro.
Turkey, 2 hams, mashed potatoes, stuffing, pumpkin pie, coconut cream pie, lol, and cheesecake. Desserts made from scratch. That's so awesome. I give
Like,
2 thumbs up.
For
I can
real,
already taste it.
I got to give the producer some mad credit because she found a place right up the road, actually, surprising. It's a coffee shop, and they had this whipped pumpkin cheesecake. and it was like a pumpkin pie, like a whipped cheesecake, you know, the real airy kind, but it was pumpkin pie flavored, and it was so
Yeah.
flipping good. And I was like, she's like, "Do you want it?" I was like, "Yes." So she brought back home a slice, and that was kind of my one homage to, because turkey's hard to find here, by the way. Turkey's really hard to get.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had Thanksgiving at Ryan's house. Ryan Sensei. He hosted Thanksgiving for for a small group of us. So a buddy of mine, Buddy Baker. You'll hear about Baker's adventures. Yeah, my buddy Baker flew up from Okinawa. He got a weekend leave. He's in the Air Force. So he flew up, invited him to Thanksgiving. We had turkey, we had grits and ham hocks. We
Grits and ham
had
hock. That's about
mac.
as southern as you can get,
Oh
son.
yeah,
Woo!
that's right.
Wait, where do
That's
you find
right.
ham
I mean,
hocks
so
in?
it wasn't
Wait,
grits.
how do you
It wasn't grits. It was collard greens. It was collard greens
collard
and
green?
ham
Oh,
hocks.
now you're.
But
First
still,
off, where do you find
but
collard
still,
greens? You can find collard greens in Japan and ham hock, like salted ham hock, smoked.
yeah, Ryan did it. He did it.
Wow,
Yep, he did it. He pulled it off. I was like, oh my God, this is so
dude,
good.
the collard greens.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god, that makes.
Hey,
That's so
he
southern, bro.
he is a Georgia boy.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
say
Georgia boy
if you're
for a
if you're
reason.
Arkansas, Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, anywhere where
Any
we're
of
from,
that.
yeah, it's legit. I gotta have it. And for those
Yep.
that don't know what we're talking about, these are they're like a leafy green plant that grows, and if you just ripped a leaf
Yeah.
off and ate it, it would make you want to go punch a tree. It's terrible. They're bitter. They're horrible. They like you eat it and you're like,
Yes.
what
Like
creature?
sandpaper.
Like sandpaper. They're super thick leaves and tough. They make kale taste like cotton candy.
Yeah.
It's for those who don't like kale. Oh, mile cracking on Mark. I'll fix Mark. So hang on. So anyway, it's like the worst green ever. But thanks to the South in frugal living and more poorer climate, you throw a little bit of salted pork, smoked salted pork in there, cook those suckers for hours and hours, and they turn out so good.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Cook it
Let
for
me
like 3 weeks, and it'll turn out great.
cook it for 3 weeks. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Let's see. I'm going to pick
Yeah.
Mark
Yeah,
Source.
Ryan knocked it out of the park.
Advanced audio property. No, I don't know. There's way too many buttons on that. Hang on. Properties. Here we go. Discord. Let me see if. Talk to me, Mark. Talk to me, Goose. All right. So he's not working. Good. Hang on. And we're going to move him back. And we should be good. Speak.
Okay.
Speak. All right. We're good.
Should be good.
We're
Should
good.
be good. And then, of course, Ryan whipped out the turkey. Very juicy turkey.
How do you cook them?
Delicious
Did he
turkey.
cook them or did you just buy them?
Oh, he cooked them.
Does he have an oven?
Well, it was like a 6-pounder.
Still, that's like hard. Dude, that's not
Yeah.
easy.
It was, I mean, of course, we spatchcocked that turkey, right? And we slide it in there flat,
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
So it cooked a little bit easier. I mean, anywho, even if I had a huge oven, I would still spatchcock that thing. Like I wouldn't cook it as like the shape. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't cook. It doesn't cook as even. You always get one side's dry, the other side's like not as dry. It's all weird and stuff. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, Ryan Sensei knocked it out of the park. It was absolutely fantastic. There was like so much gravy, and he made croissants with cream cheese and bacon stuffing. Oh my God, they're so good.
So it
Yeah.
says you're still buzzing. I put a noise filter on you. Let me see if I can move you back.
Well, really, is it still buzzing,
Is
guys?
it chat? Is it still buzzing? Let us know. Is Mark okay or are we good? I just threw a noise filter on him, so that might help him.
I don't
We're
know.
waiting. Bueller. Oh, fixed. Good. All right. We're approved.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, while you're chatting, so talk about that. I'm going to go turn the AC on. I'm dying. I'm over here
Okay,
melting and I
yeah.
forgot to turn the AC on. So carry the show. You can do it.
Okay, I can do it. So anyway, so we had Thanksgiving dinner, and we watched probably the best Thanksgiving movie of all time. Well, maybe not of all time, but the best Thanksgiving movie to date. Ladies and gentlemen, we watched Kung Fury.
What?
Have you watched Kung Fury?
Kung
Jono?
Fury. Yes. Wait a minute. Why do I know this?
We were watching Kung Fury for Thanksgiving, and it was just the best Thanksgiving. movie
Why do I know it?
ever. It was so good.
Wait, who was in Kung
It was that
Fury?
super
Oh my God, that
stereotypical.
super over the top 1980s
Yes,
thing. Yes.
it was Pit Vipers the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was David Sandberg in it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and they had David Hasselhoff that sang the theme
Yes.
song,
I
and they're doing
know.
like he was a Miami cop. It was every
Yeah,
single
Hasselhoff was in
80s
there.
action cliche.
Michael Fassbender was in it. I remember this
But no,
now.
that's in the second one.
The second one was too.
Michael Fassbender and Arnold are gonna be in Kung Fury 2.
Oh, that's why. Okay. But it's like
Yeah,
over the top, like mega,
it's
mega, mega
ridiculous.
cheesy 80s. I know what you're talking
Yes, but it's so good. It's so good. Nothing makes any sense. The first bad guy is an arcade machine that flips you to bird and shoots lasers out of his hands.
about.
It
Oh
was
my
great.
God.
It was great. They go back to the Viking era and a Velociraptor comes out, you know, and then some chick called Barbariana has a Gatling gun and shoot.
Barbarian.
It's so good.
Probably look like
It's so good.
American Gladiators, like straight on the page of
It was
American Gladiators.
it was so perfect. Like everything about that movie was great.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's I think
Yep.
for me, I'll tell you this. And by the way, still want to acknowledge here. Yeah, it's freaking it today's 30 degrees in Taipei. 30.
Mm.
And it's winter. And for those a few of those in the US, that's like 89.
Yeah.
It's almost 90 Fahrenheit. It's like what the hell? Anyway, so yeah, I think for me, Thanksgiving has been obviously you watch football. That's like
Yes.
go. You watch the Macy's
Of
Thanksgiving Day
course.
Parade. That's like to start the morning off. Then you watch American
Yes.
football. That this is a very
You watch the
American way to do
Lions
things.
lose.
Yeah, you watch the Lions lose every year. That's what you do. That's
Yep,
like
that's
the
right. Hey, this
Lions.
year it was close.
Yep,
The Lions and the Bills, they were close. They played them up to like a field goal.
yep. And
I
then
was amazed.
for me, it's the kickoff to like that whole weekend because you get like the Thursday, then you get Friday off, Saturday, Sunday. They would always do on like TNT or one of the channels. They do a James Bond marathon. And I
Really?
was, yeah, this is a long time ago, man. They kind of stopped doing it with the advent of like Netflix and stuff like that. But I would say like 10 years ago, they would always do a Bond marathon. Like it would be like 30 days of Bond. And because like TNT back then, they didn't have all the trash TV shows, all the AMC, all the, the fake reality garbage shows they have out now.
Right.
So they would actually run old James Bond and they would get access to the entire catalog. And some channel would get it. And somebody would always do like nonstop 48 or 72 hours of A Christmas Story. But that would always be toward Christmas. And then
Yeah.
it would be like, they would always
my
do, oh my
God.
God, yeah, dude, you turn it on, it's always on. It's like
Yikes.
literally nonstop 24 hours.
Yikes.
And but they would always do the James Bond marathon. So you get to watch every Bond. It's like the Bondathon, they call it. And you'd watch every Bond film. And it was so much fun for me to like watch all the old Sean Connery stuff, to watch like the old like Roger Moore, like everything. You would catch up on all. I've probably seen like in my childhood, all the old Bond films dozens of times.
Nice.
It's just kind of, I don't know, for me,
I
it's
don't
like a Thanksgiving thing. It's one of those weird traditions, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because James is a bit problematic nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah. He, I don't know, the new James Bond. I'm wondering who's going to take who's taking the mantle after, have they announced?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill's going to do it?
Yep, he's the next Bond.
He's going to make a good Bond. I think so.
Yes.
I think he'll be a good one. I'll be honest, as polarizing as I like the current Bond, I think he's probably one of the better ones. I know you're
That-
looking.
What's his face? Daniel Craig?
Yeah, I do. Because,
Yeah.
okay, with the exception of the last film he did, he got a little like, spoiler alert, he had like kids, like he's got a kid, and that story arc is a little weird. But I like the introduction of him getting his start. He felt a little more real to me. I don't know. But still, I'm a Connery purist. So, like, if you ask, Connery's number one, still.
I don't know, man. Like Daniel Craig came off the heels of, Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan, he got the suave. He got the, yeah. I can't believe this guy can beat up a flower, but he surely does make it good, Mr. Bond.
Now, Connery, obviously, they're going to be like, oh, he's totally misogynistic, right? I mean, if you go back to
Yeah.
Connery, he was like super, but I loved Connery. Pierce, and hot take, Pierce Brosnan is my least favorite.
Oh,
least.
really?
Yeah, I would say now some of the okay as a Bond, but the Bond movies, I like Tomorrow Never Dies. I'm with Stu and Chad on this one. I like the movie. I just don't like him cast as Bond. I think
Mm.
Roger Moore's number two for me. Actually, I don't know. I would say Daniel Craig's number two, then Roger Moore, then Pierce Brosnan.
Tomorrow, Tomorrow Never Dies is where they were in Vietnam, right? It was like that was the one where the news was trying to
The
incite
news.
World War Three.
Yeah, the guy was like
Isn't
controlling.
this hitting?
Yeah,
Isn't this hitting home
dude, that was like
a
20
little
years
bit?
ago. But that's with what's her name? God, what was the
Michelle
brunette?
Yeoh.
No, the brunette girl.
It was- I
The
just remember Michelle Yeoh was in there.
no. Tomorrow Never Dies. Oh, she was Michelle Yeoh was in there, and then who else? I mean, that was a really good one. Yeah, Terry Hatcher was
Oh,
in it.
Terry Hatcher.
Yes, Terry Hatcher was the other Bond girl. Thank you.
It's okay. I like The World Was Not Enough because it had the best blonde girl. Blonde girl. Denise Richards.
Denise Richards was so plastic for me.
Denise Richards was the best nuclear physicist. You couldn't buy that she was a nuclear physicist.
No,
Who cared?
yeah, she.
This was Denise Richards coming off of Wild Things. Okay?
Yeah, she
This was
just dropped out of
peak-
Wild
this is
Things.
Peak Denise Richards.
Like,
Okay?
Christmas,
Yo, let
yeah,
me tell you
Christmas.
what.
Oh my God, Stu dropped it. Yeah, oh my God, Christmas comes twice a year. Oh my God, that's
Let me tell you, my goodness.
that was so bad, and that's why I think why that time period the Bond girls were so cliche during that chunk, and I think it was Tomorrow Never Dies finally gave them some meat, a little bit, you know. I don't know, but again, Connery still the best. I have to say, like, Never Say Never is really good. God, what else? Going back, there's a bunch of them. Like the Lotus submarine. Why are we on a Bond kick now? What is this? Yeah, Michelle Yeoh was a badass. Yeah, exactly. Like I think there was I think they got a, and Stu in chat saying, yeah, Michelle Yeoh was a badass. There was a chunk of time where there's always, if you look at Bond girls, there's always a good Bond girl and an evil Bond girl, right? They always have like the two.
And the evil Bond.
Yeah,
girl.
the evil Bond girl, and they have like Bond, and then they have like the evil guy. So there's like kind of this
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and I felt like that was one of the first times where like there was so long where they were kind of making the evil Bond girls like, you know, like just whatever, and they finally gave them like good meat, like gave them like this power role, and I was like, okay, that's believable. This is like this evil, manipulative, you know, like murdersome monster, and like okay, cool, but.
Yeah. Then they made all the evil Bond girls super spicy.
Yeah, very spicy. In the like, especially
Yes.
Daniel Craig time period. Daniel Craig, they made the evil and good very ambiguous. They kind of
I think the best, like, I think evil, like the bad Bond girl was the antagonist from World Is Not Enough. The girl that played opposite of what's her from Denise Richards. I think she was just
that was
cold,
what was her
calculating.
name? She
She
had
has
the
that European chick.
well, she had the fake Russian accent. Was it Sophie
Yes,
Mercer?
yeah. So yeah.
Yep. God,
She's
look at
very good.
Stu.
Like I think there's something, Stu. This is why in Japan I was like, you gotta dial it back, bro. You gotta dial it back. Oh man,
Yeah.
he was.
She
on top
she
of
was
this.
good. Sophie, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember this. Who else? I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Yeah, she was really good. I think like she played that role really good. Like there was like some kind of there's like a fragileness to her, a delicateness to her, but then like at the end she was like, oh, I was the mastermind all along.
Yeah, like behind it. Well, again, that's why I think the character of Vesper, when you got to the Daniel Craig, I think they wrote Vesper's character so perfectly well. She was the best good/bad Bond girl, in my opinion. And that's a hot take. Whatever, please feel free to
I don't know.
argue.
Do you know why I don't like the Daniel Craig ones? Because they were trying to make him too much like Ethan Hunt. They're trying to make James Bond Mission Impossible version.
Well, that's what-
every time I watched any of the new ones, that's how I felt. And I didn't like it because if I wanted a real Mission Impossible, I'd watch Tom Cruise. I wouldn't watch this guy who was like, didn't he do a movie where he was a Nazi running around? I was like, dude, how can I take this man seriously? For real,
Yeah.
for real.
Oh, which is the best Spider-Man? Here we go. Ho Chi Young dropping in chat.
Tobey Maguire, Tobey Maguire, Tobey Maguire, Tobey Maguire.
Okay, live action Tobey Maguire,
Yeah, Tobey
but
Maguire, no doubt, Tobey Maguire.
but I have to say the digital Miles Morales. I'm liking Miles a lot.
I don't know, like Miles Morales in the cartoon, like the Into the Spider-Verse, too whiny for me, man. Like comics Miles,
okay, it was okay. It was
not-
character.
not
It
as
was that
bad.
was character development, Miles. Right? They were giving him. They were trying to make him like they always do. Make
Yeah,
him look
just,
weak
you know,
and let him have these moments. And so they got to show him really weak, and they got to let him have his moment. And there's only so much they can do in like 2 hours versus like seasons of comics. But Tom Holland's good, but
Like-
I got to go with my boy Toby on this one. Toby Maguire's it because of evil Spider-Man, the douchey Spider-Man.
oh yeah,
Evil
man.
Tobey
Dude,
Maguire.
emo
Bro.
Spider-Man.
Where he comes out.
Bro,
Yep. That's
dude, come on.
and the
Bring
fact
back-
that and
bring
then the
back
fact
Toby.
and I got to give it as an old dude in the chat here, right? The fact when they did the most recent one, again spoilers, like he's like, "Oh, my back hurts." He's like doing the back thing. I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
"Yes." He's like, "I can feel you, bro."
Yes.
Like it's real. So,
Yeah, man. That Toby for sure. Like Tom Holland's good. Don't get me wrong. Tom Holland's very good. But I think Tom Holland's problem is Tom Holland's doesn't play Spider-Man. Tom Holland plays Tom Holland
playing
in
Spider-Man.
every movie.
Yeah,
that
he plays
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland plays Tom Holland
Right,
playing
so-
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
And and it's not bad. Not bad at all. I think what happened to the stream?
What? Did
Uh-oh.
it die? What happened?
What happened to the stream?
do you
Oh
mean?
no, we're good. We're good.
But you're fine.
Oh no,
You're fine.
It didn't catch up on mine. So-
Okay, I'm looking, I'm like,
Okay,
I'm
good.
watching everything. Everything looks good. I'm like over here, like
Yeah.
monitoring.
It
I've got.
did-
I'm like-
mine kind of dropped.
I'm
Mine
like,
kinda
bro,
dropped
my
a little bit, but it's
console
all
looks good. I like, like my screen. That's why if you ever watch me, I'm like, I always tell people, I'm like, you see me doing this. It's because I'm like,
Ooh,
dude. I'm always watching like
Yeah.
everything. By the way,
Yeah.
did we mention this show is
Yeah,
brought to you
yeah,
by
yeah.
Patch,
Anyways.
brought to you by patchfiend.com. We have patchfiend.com. This show.
Patchfiend.com.
Patchfiend.com. And by the way, I have a new one. It's not even on the store yet. I don't. It's probably terrible. You probably can't see it.
Send nudes.
Yep, just came in. I mean, literally today,
Love it.
just came in. Just came in. I will have these on the shop
Send nudes.
for whatever. I'll have these on the shop for those that you guys get early. I mean, you see it, right? I'll have on the shop probably by Monday and on Amazon. If you guys are in the States, you can buy them on Amazon. Amazon's going to take a while, but they'll be on the actual web store on patchfiend.com. What coming up? By the way, I'm doing a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal right now. Like for real, I'm doing like 30% off the whole store, no minimum, and like free shipping over like 35 or 45, depending if you're international or domestic in the US. So, you can combo them up. Anyway, so just want to plug my brand.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to plug, Mark?
No,
Okay, good.
no.
Mark's OF. He's Mark.
Go subscribe
Mark,
to Lilacs International.
yeah, Mark is running an OF deal. He's dropped his monthly down to no. Anyway,
It's it went from free to me paying
to
you money.
negative. Yeah, they're like, I'll pay you $5 if you just sign up.
Yeah.
My God.
Yes, exactly. No, yeah. So yeah, Lilacs International. If you haven't done it yet, go subscribe.
Yeah, do it.
Nominate me for the Popular Airsoft Awards. It's gonna be fun. It will be all the memes. So please nominate me.
Oh,
to win
yes.
the Popular Airsoft Awards.
For real.
special
Let me unbuzz Mark.
Player.
Oh, you want special player? You want special player, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna switch your audio. Hang on,
Nominate
give me a
for
second.
Special player, of course.
Pause. I don't know why I can't. It's weird. I don't know why I can't hear his buzz. It's so odd. And I even put a noise compressor on. Okay, you should be back. Fire, come back. Talk to me. Talk to me, Goose.
Okay. Yes, please nominate me for special player.
Wait. Mayday-san asked too? Are you getting CB'd by Mayday-san?
Mayday-san didn't ask. Come on, man. Stu asked. And Stu asked you to vote for Mayday-san because Stu asked me to vote for Mayday-san too.
We're watching you, Stu.
Well,
So
see, that's why I said Stu. Stu asked to vote for Mayday-san.
Defro promoted him. No. We got to get our
No,
boy
no.
Mark in there. This is yeah. No politics. There's no politics. It's de facto. We got Mark G Ping here. So
Mark, yes.
And speaking
No,
of
no. Seriously, guys.
speaking of Chairman Mark, this is a good transition.
Into our topic for tonight. Anyways, before we transition into that, yeah. But jokes aside, I was only nominated or asking you guys to nominate because it was brought to my attention that some of the guys were nominating me, and I was like, they're like, hey, just want to let you know we're doing this. We're going for it this year. I'm like,
All right,
all
full
right. I
send.
guess we're gonna do the memes.
Full
I guess we're doing it for the
send.
memes this year, boys.
Full send.
Full send. I guess that's what we're doing. And so
Oh,
I'm just
so
saying,
good.
hey, if I get the
Spicy.
nomination, you guys can have. I guarantee I will do the cringiest, most cringe campaign video I can come up with. So I will. Sponsored by Pit Vipers. Yes, I have a new pair coming. Pink double wides.
What sponsor? I saw. By the way, I saw they noticed you finally. You got something
Yes, they
brewing?
finally did. I was so happy.
Senpai noticed you.
No, I wish I did.
Oh my god.
I wish I did. Anyways, but yeah, I got another pair. They're doing 50% off here in Japan. So like it was 5,500 yen. I couldn't say no.
5,005. That's like $40 US.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Half price. Couldn't say no.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap.
Had to say yes.
That's pretty cheap.
You know. Anyways, so yeah. So just guys. But on the serious note, for nominations, please nominate. Lilacs International, our channel. It goes a long way for me and the team who make this possible.
Yeah. And by the way,
it'd be
don't,
great
for
to,
the record, don't worry about me.
give this team a
Don't
win.
worry about me. I'm fine. I don't need to win an award.
Um, make sure
Worry about them.
Make sure you
Worry about-
you put patchfiend.com. Patchfiend.com.
Hey,
as
by the way,
best gear,
if they do best, if they do
gear
best pass
supplier
maker
in North America.
Yeah, best patch maker, they then definitely do it. But aside from that, yeah, get.
Best gear supplier in North America. Patchfiend.com.
Oh my god, can you
And
imagine?
best airsoft parts. Airsoft parts.
I don't think that'll
manufacturer.
win. I don't think I'd win.
Lilacs, please. So
I don't think I'd win.
please nominate them. I did tell Defoe that I will go and vote for him in May Day because if you have another email address, sorry, Popular Airsoft, but you can go and do another nomination. So
Oh, we just
I think everybody knows it by now.
dude. Yeah, you could just create a fake email account and just use those trash emails, those throwaway emails, and just. By the way,
No,
fun.
we're not telling you guys to cheat.
No, I'm not telling
but,
you the
if
fact that, by the way, if you have a Gmail account and you put a period anywhere in your Gmail email, it will still come to you. So you can do like, for example, if your email is email@gmail.com, you can do e.mail@gmail.com. It'll still go to your email account. Oh, and by the way, you actually can hyphenate it anywhere too, and it'll still come to you. And I think you can hyphenate it. You can start with let's say your email is email@gmail.com. You can do email hyphen, and then anything you want after the hyphen, and it will still come to you. But we're just telling you that's how like potentially Gmail works. I mean, you can Google it if you want to know. You could have one email account that looks like infinite ones. Just saying. By the way, fun pro tip. You actually can do that. So if you have whatever your Gmail address is, for example, I don't know if it works on Hotmail, but Gmail does. So you have your Gmail address and you say, okay, I'm going to use the word email. So your address is email@gmail.com. Email dash, and then if you sign up for somebody's mailing list, let's say you're signing up for like CNN.com, right? So email dash CNN@gmail.com. And then if they sell your email, you can know it's them because you'll start getting emails that are sent to email dash CNN. You're like, CNN sold my name. So check it out. There's tips. Just type in email or say Gmail infinite email hack or tip or trick. And you'll see how to do it exactly because you can do it with a period anywhere in your address, but it has to be your actual proper address or a hyphen at the end, and you can append anything on the backside. So, but just saying, if you want
Yes.
to do it. So if Stu's like, wait, one Gmail address, I can have a lot of votes? Yeah. Stu, we're going to have an intervention. Stu, by the way, we're going to have an intervention with you later about this. So, by the way, Stu, bro,
Yes.
Barber, man, I want to get you an awesome Statham and a kick-ass beard fade. You're gonna look killer, man. We got to work on you, bro. I found a good barber. I know exactly where to take you. There's a baller barber shop
Yes.
in Shadab Night
Yes.
Market, like baller.
And I think what needs to happen after that, like immediately after that, is we fly Scott out with like a kilt and like a wooden sword, and he chases you around.
So look, so Stu, you tried the throw thing. So by the way, men's tip. By the way, for those of you that do grow beards like me, and it's kind of good because mine's a little long, but by God, look at the white. So for real, like I'm telling you, I don't dye anything. This is my natural color. It just goes white here. This is all like the hair's still here, ton of it. It's just white, and then it gets dark again here. Like this is all natural. Everything you see, zero dye. White, and then white in here. But I was telling Stu, like, if you want to do your chin, you take your finger here, you just sit up normal, and you just, like Mark does it too, and you just pull your big hand straight back. Boop. Wherever it lands, shave below it. See how it lands right there? And my line just goes perfectly to it. Wherever your finger lands, shave below the line. And it's going to, okay, by the way, it'll grow back out, and it's going to, especially when you get older, you get the little flaps. You'll get ingrown hairs. You got to shave this every couple days. Like, and then I do here and here, and I do a little in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, just straight back. That's the tip. And you just straight back, shave below it. That gives you that solid jawline. So even if you don't have a strong, I've got a little bit of like wobbly turkey neck thing going. Like, yeah, actually we need to like maybe Manscaped could sponsor us. Hey, by the way, Manscaped, we love your sponsorship.
Manscaped, I was about to say. Hey,
Manscaped.com
Hey,
when you want to
we
clean your
sponsor
lines
everybody.
out. Yes. So the lawnmower 3.0,
Sponsoring everybody.
they are, man. Why
Yeah,
not
exactly.
us, right? But yeah, for real though.
Can we do Manscaped and Raid Shadow Legends, please?
Yes. Yeah. Trim your kiwis, fam. But yeah, for real, like that's the tip. And you just got to keep it trimmed though. This is going to grow like I have to do this every day or two. So it's funny. You have a beard. You're like, oh, I don't want to shave. No, I have to shave like every 2 days here and here. I always do it before the show. So
Technically, I should be doing it twice a week, but I get lazy. But it
Yeah.
is like, yeah, just right here.
Yeah.
I usually take it right. It goes right. How I do is I go right up to the
Yeah.
to the cheek, to the
here,
cheekbone, right up to the cheekbone, and then take the cheekbone and then go up to the other side.
Yeah. Now that's a good point too. Don't let it drop low here, like Mark said. Hit your bone,
Yeah.
like I do, like
Yeah.
jawbone, like where your jaw bites in, like here.
Yeah.
Just take it to there, and then just wherever that line is, find that natural line.
Yeah.
Once you do it for like a few weeks, I mean, I've been doing this for like 10 years, 12 years, but once you do it, you'll know. You just know exactly where to put that line. I don't even think about it. I actually can shave. I shave without even a mirror sometimes in the shower blind.
Yeah.
Stu's asking, what
So-
are our respective producers' feelings on beards? It's sometimes been a point of contention with past Miss Stubakas. Do you want to go first on this one, Mark?
I know you want to go first. I can definitely go first.
Oh, I've
The-
got
the-
some
the
fire
current-
opinions, but you go first.
Yeah, the producer right now, previous producers, they've always said, "Oh, I would love to see you clean shaven." I said, "No, you don't." And then like, "Yes, I would love to see you clean shaven." I'm like, "No, you don't." So what I did was I would trim it really, really short, and they're like, yeah, maybe you should not." And so the producer now, producer's like, "Do not shave." She's like, "Do not get rid of it.
Yeah. So
Do not get rid of it."
for
There's just
me,
some guys out there who are who are kind of like naturally like look good beardless, right? With no facial hair, and God bless them. If they have facial hair, they just will not look the same. Me, I'm like the other side, right? Like I have to have something to kind of highlight the face or like put some shadow on this, right? To cover this up.
it's really too, it depends on your chin line. Like, if you notice, like here, if you look straight on, it looks like I've got a pretty strong jawline, but actually, side view, it's not incredibly strong. Like my chin line, my jaw's good, my chin's not incredibly strong. I don't have that Chad beard, like that Chad jaw. I mean, like not beard, but Chad jaw, right?
Yeah.
Like the
The
mega
butt chin.
Giga Chad, right? The Giga Chad jaw.
Giga Chad,
Right?
yes.
If you guys know the Giga Chad beam. So if you don't have that, it really helps because it adds this shadow and dimension. And this is like the longest I usually keep it now. I mean, you've been watching my channel, so you know I usually kept it longer. But I found as I get older, the shorter I make it, the younger-ish I look, so it helps. That said,
Yeah.
for me, it's kind of the same way. I will just give you the best advice, like Stu for his question. I'll answer it directly. What are your respective producers' feelings on beards? Being our better halves, it's sometimes been a point of contention with past Miss Stubacas. The thing is this: if you find the right woman, she will not try to change you. You will be the person that she wants. So, and I will say this, that like when you're in a relationship, there's the potential when you run into like a sizable chunk of women, and get ready for us to be labeled misogynist here if anybody watches this, but fine, whatever, that will they'll S test you. S stand, it's 4-letter word, right? They'll congruency test is the correct
Talking
word.
mushrooms.
No, yeah. Just talking about, but it's congruency test. You can Google the word congruency test is what it is, but we call it S test, BS testing or whatever. And they're going to constantly berate you with little tests to test your leadership ability. And I wouldn't say masculinity because a woman who's looking for someone to help them lead their direction in life, they're going to check your ability. You may present yourself because they've dealt with a lot of dumb dudes in their life, right? Guys that look like they're like, oh, I got my stuff together. They're really weak and they're looking for money and some woman to take care of them, right? They want, like, if you find a woman that wants a guy that's going to be able to help provide direction in life and step up and make those choices, most of the time it's as simple as picking what to eat for dinner, like just confidently. They're going to be constantly, and this is a subconscious thing. This is not an active thing they're doing to try to tear you down. It's subconscious. It's just part of human nature that women are going to look for the best guy they can get. They always have, right? Just like men want the best woman they can have, right? So women do it by testing them, and it's through these congruency tests or S tests. And it's going to happen. So shave your beard. Oh, and they're going to do like the little micro thing, like trying to tear you down. Like, oh, your wrinkles are showing today. Or, oh, your belly's looking a little pudgy today. Like to see a reaction, be like, hey, whatever, right? I added it quick. I can burn it quick, right? As long as you give cool, chill responses and you don't let anything bug you, you pass the test. The test is and if you're not a strong person, you will not pass. Like you can't fake it. You have to really be that person because these things happen when you're least expecting them. And I know, Mark, you've seen this in your past relationships. I know your current producers. I'm same with mine. Like in my past relationships, constant congruency testing, right? And some more than others.
Oh yeah. I think like in my past relationships, it was more like how like they're not so much as like testing. It's more like they're trying to see how far they can go.
Well, it
Right?
is.
It's not so much how much they can push you. It's more like them trying to go. How much of an advantage can I take of you? How far can I push you until you become something that's not you anymore, and it's just my version of what I want you to be,
But it's
right?
not the
So
version
like
they
that, I think,
want. That's the
yeah,
thing. It's the version they
yes,
think they want of you, but they don't want you. They found you because you're
yeah,
strong and independent, but they want to take you and turn like again, to the point is they're actually testing you, Mark. They're trying to change
mm,
you, see if you will change. They respect
yeah.
you more
So
if you don't.
nah, I don't know. Hong Kong girls are psychopaths, so
But
I'm just gonna throw it
it's
out there.
universal, man.
And
I got to
so
disagree with you on this one. It is a
so
universal
so I'm
thing.
I'm gonna tell you because the thing is like my ex. Look at her current husband. Same thing. Same thing. Same. Right? It got to the point where why did we split is because I had enough of her BS and I said I'm not doing it anymore, and
Yep.
that's what really teed her off. Right? That's what really teed her off. She is like, you're gonna be who I want. I'm saying, I wasted my youth with you. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yep.
Right? And that's what really irritated her. It's really not so much like they like how do I put it? I have never had a relationship like with a girl from Hong Kong that has been how do I put it? Not toxic,
Well, I'll say
right?
this. You're
And
saying Hong Kong girls. I think
yeah.
like if you want to like really box it in, I would say because Hong Kong girls are very progressive modern women. So I would say progressive modern women that have been drinking the Disney Kool-Aid, you know?
I don't think so. It's not that. Hong Kong girls are
I'm
Hong
not
Kong
saying
girls
you're
are well, no, it's a different type of toxicity. So Hong Kong girls are fed the Chinese Kool-Aid, right?
Well, yeah,
Because
and I get
what's
that
like
now.
it's the very vapid, materialistic. You don't need anything but a rich husband. You see it in media, you see it in the magazines, you see it in the TV series, in all the Hong Kong TV series. The mother of the female protagonist always says, go find a rich husband. It's always finding a rich husband. It's always marrying up. It's all about hypergamy. It's never about being in love. It's never about that, right? To the point where now you go out to any kind of night, any kind of club, any kind of social venue in Hong Kong, it's a opportunity to climb the ladder. It's like there's no
It's
more
clout, dude. And that's
chilled.
the same. You're
Yeah,
saying Hong Kong.
exactly.
I'm going to tell you, it's that way in Miami. It's that way in Atlanta. It's that way in New York.
But
It's that way in
here's the thing.
LA.
So
It's no different. You're saying it's different in Hong Kong. No, this is copy
yeah,
paste Western. But I agree with you. It's amplified by the Eastern approach
yes,
of, oh, it's okay. Here's the difference between West and East. The East will openly talk about materialism being
yes,
important. The West will covertly discuss it, but not openly. That's the
yeah.
only difference. It's the same thing, is but the question is it an open topic for discussion? Because I've noticed here in Asia, the girls that are going to be that way are going to talk about it like, I want to find a rich guy, period. Like, and they are proud
Yeah.
of it because like my parents told me that I'm going to do this. This is the most
Hmm.
important thing, period. In the West, the girls that are like that, and I'm saying the girls are like that. This not every girl's like that. There are absolutely some amazing women out there. Period. But the girls that are going to be like that in any culture, anywhere in the West, they're going to be quiet about it, but they're still going to think it. They're still going to look for it. They're going to talk about it quietly amongst themselves, but
Oh
never
yeah,
say it
of
out loud.
course.
In the
Yeah,
East, it's a comfortable
but
topic and acceptable.
yeah. You also have to look for like the how to put it. You also have to look at the percentage, right? So, like for example, if you talk about, I always talk about the producer, right? The producer's like, well, I'm also born in Hong Kong. Yes, but you're the exception. You're not the mean,
Right.
right? The mean is this is what the culture and mainstream, relationship advice is pushing towards, like especially in Hong Kong, right? I don't know about the U.S. anymore. I haven't dated like a white girl since I was like I think it was like 19 years old, right? So, you know, but the thing is like with Hong Kong, it's the constant. Ho Ching Young is right, right? You ain't having an orgasm unless it's in a house you're paying for, right? You're paying for. So I mean, it's so typical. It's very difficult, my heart goes out to a lot of these younger guys in Hong Kong because they have to face this, right? They have to deal with this,
But that
right?
it
And of
actually
course,
doesn't.
like
I'll tell you no. I think that I'll take the counterpoint here, just different perspective on the same thing. You're like, hey, the younger guys got to deal with this. But for me, I see that as an opportunity for the younger guys or any of the guys that are dealing with this to say, okay, fine. You know what? I'm not going to subscribe to that noise right now anyway. Yeah, of course, everybody wants a girlfriend, and to have dates and things like that. But fine, I'm going to check out of that BS. If that's the game, like the girls that are going to be like your producer, my producer, that are outside the mold, right? That are outside the
yeah,
copy paste, then you have to just work on yourself and you'll find them
no, of
eventually.
course,
But so in
yeah.
that meantime, you're like, you know what? Forget that noise. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to focus on myself, my fitness, my business, my work, my whatever you're doing. Just do it, right?
Well, yes, for sure. I mean, at the same time, I think you and me saying these things is like, we're preaching to the choir, but at the same time, you know, I didn't come to this natural conclusion, when I was much younger. I'm sure you didn't as well. And we've kind of expounded on this a long time ago. And at the same time, I think like that's the difficulty is because, in Hong Kong, right? Let's just use Hong Kong as an example. They they purposely look for guys who are like the opposite of what you and I are, right?
Yeah.
They want the effeminate. They want the K-pop drama guys. They want the um all that, right? And the thing is like unlike now this is where unlike progressive women where like, oh, secretly they want the Chads. Hong Kong girls they don't, right? They date, let's say a foreigner, right? They date a foreigner as arm candy. You're a decoration, right? You're a decoration to them. And If you're an American, sorry, you're
Yeah.
done.
Sorry, check
They
out. You
don't
give a
even, yeah,
European or UK.
you're
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
There's the door, right? I don't care who you are, you're gone. Canadians, you get an exception, but you better be like skinny, tall, blonde, clean shaven. You better look like Robert Pattinson from Twilight. Just saying, yeah, and so you're kind of fighting an uphill battle, and so it was very difficult for me, especially like dealing with my ex, which she kind of opened my eyes to a lot of these things. Turns out, you know what? Wow, I was so checked out of dating in Hong Kong. It was ridiculous. I was so, you can ask the producer. The truth is, the producer had to chase me because I didn't want any of it. I didn't want any of it. I didn't
Well,
want to
I think
date.
that
I
happens
dating,
as a Western guy who
you know.
dated, and I mean, everybody knows I was married, got divorced, all that. I mean, full disclosure, right? And it's been 6, 7 years now. The that living in that world and then get like when I was very young and pre social media. I didn't feel, maybe I was just young or whatever, but I didn't feel like that was like as prevalent as it is today. And then coming on the heels of that, I kind of felt it. I found it the hard. I kind of found out the hard way when I first got back into the scene. Now that I was back
Mhm.
after being out for whatever decade plus
Yeah.
of time, more than a decade, then I felt it like, oh my God, things have changed. This is not the same, right? It's like culture shock for me. I'm like, I have to
Hmm.
learn the rule.
Yeah.
Like I was playing basketball before, and now it's football. And like, oh my God, I got to learn all new rule set, right? Am I offsides? Am I like, what's going on here, right? So,
Hmm. Hmm.
it was a very different situation for me. And you make huge mistakes, and fortunately, I didn't make any major ones. And it ended up, I think, to your point, you either end up as, and I hate to quote some of these guys, like they said you're either alpha Fs or beta bucks, right? Like you're either the beta the guy the girls marry, which is the subscription
Yeah.
that you're telling, the description you're saying, like Hong Kong, like they find the effeminate whatever guy, like, hey, go make your money, go be rich, go whatever, and just give me money, I'll go live my life. And I'm totally happy with that. I
Yes.
don't care. I don't
Yes.
need that. In the West, it's a different thing. They'll marry that,
Yeah.
but then the girls will go find the Chads, the alphas, right? And then have fun with them on the side.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the,
Oh, trust me, the Hong Kong guy, look, that happens like to my friends in Hong Kong as well, which is because I'm speaking personally, like of personal experience. I have friends of mine who are married that when we would go out, on the odd chance that they're permitted to go out, they would sit and just bitch about the things like, oh, my wife won't let me do this, and oh, we won't be able to do that, and I want to go here but she doesn't want to. I just want to play some video games and she'd turn off my Xbox. And she got mad because I'm not allowed to do this. And I'm like, Jesus, I mean, my God, like, why in the first place, right? Boy, my, my,
dude,
my guy
it's
my guy was forced
miserable.
to
Like
trade in. Yeah,
you
he
trade.
was forced to trade in his Mercedes, a sports car, to go buy like a seven-seater. He has his wife, him, and a daughter. Why does he need like a seven-seater, minivan? Oh, for my friends and for my parents and all this, right?
No,
It
it's
goes back to what
so
I was
you don't
saying.
have like the reason to go
Of
out
course.
and have fun. Like so anyway,
And have a good time,
yeah.
right?
But it
Yeah.
comes down to this,
So,
and again, we're complaining. You and I are complaining from a place where we have seen the bad, know what's good, and have found
yeah.
good choices, and we've been very, I
Hmm.
would I would say lucky because it does take time, but aware
Yeah.
of what we're looking for, right? Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
and that's a bit of a different situation, and it's something that everybody can find if you look the right
Hmm.
way. And I would say, okay, I would say this:
Yeah.
not everyone, definitely not everyone. Only the ones that are willing to spend time on themselves, right? Like you
Hmm.
really have to
Yes.
you have to be self-aware. You got to kind of quit
Hmm.
following what the like if you watch TV these days, there's always like the guy is like the husband in the house is some weak dumbass, right? Like every sitcom.
Yes. And then like they make you believe that, oh, if you simp hard enough, even this TV shows,
Oh my
oh, if
god.
you simp hard enough, she's gonna come around to. It's never gonna happen,
Look,
bro.
if you're
It's
simping,
never gonna
you're
happen.
simping,
Okay.
if you're simping in her DMs, you are one of 100 or 1,000, and I'm not lying. You
Yeah.
are in you're in the
Yeah.
DMs mixed
Exactly.
into a pool of hundreds or thousands. If you're simping for her like that way,
Yeah.
there's hundreds
So
of dudes that
don't.
are too. Hey queen, hey
Yeah.
princess,
So
oh my
don't
god, you're
don't
the
don't
best.
don't
Don't.
don't think. Yeah. don't think that that will get you anywhere. To be very
It
honest,
gets
to be
you.
honest,
It gets
I,
you.
I you know,
You become a fan. You don't become someone she's interested in. You become literally a fan. Do you think?
yeah, you're just another guy.
Do you think celebrities like care about the like honestly? Do you think celebrities care about individual fans? They care about their fans, but do they care about their individual? Like, oh yeah, the fan Tom in Ohio, he's my favorite fan. Like, I like him. I know he tells me these nice
He
things.
wakes up every day and calls me queen.
Right. Oh my God, Tom in Ohio is the best. Right. No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so it's just,
Oh, Ho Chi
again,
Young. He's
we all
getting us
have
back
to,
on
yeah,
track.
we're gonna get to that.
TV, the
We're gonna
world,
get into
upside
that.
down.
Yes.
CN, yes. Okay, paper. Let's get off the female
Yes.
rant, guys.
Yeah.
Bottom line,
Anyways,
keep working on
yes.
yourself. Trust me when it comes.
Every month is no simp September.
Yeah, no simp. Every day's no simp. No simping.
Yes.
Period. And pass those congruency
That's right.
tests. They're
right.
checking.
Also,
All they're doing
you
is
know what,
checking to make
guys?
sure
Let
you're
me-
the best guy. That's all it is.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. There's nothing wrong with walking away from a toxic relationship. This is something I wish I would have
Dude.
just. Hello,
Dude,
lights turned
bro,
on.
Bro,
Like, look,
Like my
Yeah.
only regret is I didn't fucking do that shit sooner. And here I just dropped two profanities. We just got
Yeah.
demonetized. I don't care. Like for real, my zero regret is I didn't walk out of that mess sooner.
That's right.
Like,
So just
literally.
make sure. Hey, you know when it's toxic.
Yeah, and
You know
you
when it's
know
toxic.
well in advance before you're even got the guts to make the reaction. It took me, I would say, probably 5 years to get out of my
that's
bad marriage, and that 5 flipping years, I knew ahead of time. I was like, there's a massive problem here, massive. That's unfixable almost. So
Yeah.
just heads
Took
up,
me
like
6.5.
you know what to
so,
do. You know what to do, right? And
I don't know what to do.
absolutely, like night
And
and
with
day.
that, we transition to
Speaking of things, transitioning to people doing bad things. Wait, hang on. Let me.
Oh no.
Wait, no, you got words on yours. Flip it around.
Oh darn. No, they got words on this side too.
Here.
There.
And for those who don't know what we're doing, the white paper protests are going on. The people in mainland have had enough. Like literally have had enough.
We'll see
Well,
how much they've had enough.
the younger population. I'm feeling this is a bit of a Tiananmen Square prelude. Again, I think there might be that moment. The only problem is with that, I don't know if they can handle the media censorship like they did before. Like they've got it locked down, but all this is getting freaking mosquito flying around. All this is getting out. So if you haven't followed the videos, there's been these things called white paper protests. We've seen them in Hong Kong. We've seen them in the UK. We've seen them all over. Even I think in Canada during the truckers protest. Basically, to get around a lot of things in social media, you just simply hold up a white sheet of paper to protest. That's it. So that's what's going on now. Like I said, you know, Mark, you probably saw this in Hong Kong when you were there.
It didn't hold up any white sheets of paper. The only kind of funny thing about the white sheets of paper is like some lady got arrested because she was handing out blank pieces of paper as flyers, and the police thought she was handing out protest flyers, and turns out she was just handing out blank paper, and then they arrested her, and that was the only like white paper thing that they were doing. I thought that was kind of funny.
But yeah, I mean, this is pretty funny. But considering, because what the mainlanders have done is they've actually now blocked the sale of paper.
I know.
If you're a
No,
store,
I
you
think the
can't
best-
sell white paper anymore.
The best meme for me was during the World Cup. They blurred the whole stadium because people weren't wearing masks, right? They blurred the whole stadium. Yeah. And then in still photos, they photoshopped out the people. Yeah, I know. It's great.
Like, what the? Dude, this is in mainland, by the way. And I'm trying not to use
I was laughing.
the name. I don't know.
Oh,
Google
man.
doesn't like China, so it doesn't matter.
I was laughing and laughing.
It's really interesting. And mind you, I like some of the factories I use are there, like people I work with, are there. And obviously in that society, it's even if you don't agree, it's not something you're going to hear. Like you speak up, you get
No,
swatted down. So, but it's
The
surprising
biggest
to see people are speaking up.
the biggest problem that you're going to face in China is the same biggest problem that you're going to face in Hong Kong, right? No matter what they say, no matter what protests you get, it's always going to come back to the sentiment of, well, at least they're not doing whatever, right? Or like, at least we're like whatever, right? So at the end of the day, you know, oh, they're gonna protest, and then the Chinese government's gonna be like, oh, you know what? We love our people. We're just gonna pull back. Okay, no more PCR tests. Gone, right? Then they don't care anymore,
Well, look, from
right?
a business person's perspective, I do have some input here. Like I've had some projects. If you guys know, I mean patches, right? And like woven, embroidered, you can get done here, but like PVC, you have to get it in China or Pakistan. That's pretty much it, right? It's only two places
Yeah.
in the world you can get it made because of the process and what they have. It's the only two countries that you can do it in, and not deal with issues. So if you have to order it, you have to get it from one of those two. And the one in Pakistan are terrible. I mean, they're garbage. They're like a different material. It's trash. So if you want it, you got to get it from mainland China. My last order for a good friend of mine, I was like, usually I do orders for me, so like they're not as time sensitive. So if like
Right.
my patch friend noodles patch shows up a little late, it's no big deal because this
Yeah.
can be fine later on. Shameless self promotion. But if my boys, and I'm not going to show you the back of this because this is for an event that's coming up, which by the way is probably the best looking patch I've ever made, but it's for an event and I only did 100 of them. The front side of this is fire. That it almost didn't get out in time because they closed the whole city where the factory is for this item. And it was super lucky in the way it all worked out, and I was able to get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're dealing with supply chain, and these are things that are going to happen in the country. They're going to affect massively the global supply chain. And there's some parts in Western China that have been locked down for 100+ days. That's crazy. 100 days.
Yeah. Same as can. I mean, up until I think it was up until earlier this year, Toronto had the longest lockdown of any Western country of like I think it was like a year and a half. Like they like Canada was like the same level of draconian lockdown as a lot of like Shanghai and Beijing
I don't want
for
to
the
get into
longest
Canada.
time. And same with Sydney and a bunch of the other Western countries. I mean, which is super poopy if you think about it, right? And so but at the end of the day, right? The 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 only way the Chinese people are going to get any kind of freedom is number one, they have to value that, right? They have to value that over monetary gain, which is very difficult.
It's not going to
And this
happen
is
because
why,
like it's
yeah, exactly,
the message
exactly,
the
right?
message in China, and I've lived here long enough to understand it. It's why I also feel like, and I'll preface this that I feel like China has a massive advantage over any other country in the world right now because of this, even though it's a garbage, unjust on 1,000 levels thing, they have a huge advantage because of it, is that they put the country and the party first. So while we're all worried about the next 3 to 4 years of an election cycle in the West here, whenever your next election cycle is, China's playing a game that's 50 years to 100 years out. We're over here.
Yeah,
We're over here playing
exactly.
chess or checkers, and they're playing chess. They're playing 3D chess, and I've said this before. They're playing it different. They're playing the long game, and
Yeah,
with that mentality and kind of closing off a lot of the walls and not letting a lot of the outside noise come in. I mean, I think one of the biggest things is this too, and you've seen this story everywhere. Look at TikTok between China. Inside of
yes,
China, their version of TikTok, which is Tencent owns it. So it's their own, the same company has the inside version and then the rest of the world version of TikTok. The inside version of TikTok
yeah.
has
That's
time,
Douyin versus TikTok. Yeah,
right. It has time limits of when you can use it if you're younger. It promotes, it upvotes like educational stories, things that help you learn, the kid, like basically the younger generations on the app. The message they're getting is education, grow your brain, spend time studying. Oh wait, you've only spent too much time here. We're going to shut
do
your
something cool,
yeah
really cool.
scientific experiments. And oh, by the way, you've been on for an hour today. You got to get off. You've hit your max. Go outside. Go
Yeah,
study. Go do something. Make yourself better. Make yourself better. And this is
yeah,
where I really feel like we're getting our butts kicked in the West. The outside of China version of the same company, same app, the outside of the China version is look at these silly dances. Look at this stupid stuff. Look at these
Hmm.
half naked whatever, right? Um, the you look at it, the what they're sending outbound and then what they're sending inbound. And it says, I think that take it as it is, make your own decision. I'm not gonna, tell you how to think,
Yeah.
but just look into it, Google it, like really, and look at proper news outlets. Don't look at like, trash biased news thing. Look at like Reuters
Mhm.
and AP and all the proper news outlets out there and see what they are saying about these things. And you will see that the version that they're producing inside their country versus exporting outside, massively different. So who's going to be ahead when you're teaching your next generation science and math and study and go do these things and exercise or go watch stupid videos?
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the big issues that are plaguing anywhere outside of China. I mean, of course, China has its own like geopolitical issues, which is I think pretty serious to say the least. I mean, so I think like at the end of the day, if you kind of get back to the current things that's going on in China, China's not gonna be able to politically, be able to be free, or the people can't politically be free until they value that more than, well, we just want to live our lives, and it's the same problem in Hong Kong, right? The people in Hong Kong, right? They the young people, Ho Ching Young, I'm just gonna say it, bro. They don't understand what does it mean to be free. I always say, you want to be free? It's very easy. All the guardrails that they have everywhere in Hong Kong, remove them. Remove all the guardrails and take the lines off the road. Start there, right? You want to talk about like elections and all this, bro? Come on, let's just start with you get the lines off the road and see how people react, right? You know, let people be free that way. Start somewhere small. I'm just saying, look, people will not be able to value like my individual freedom or anyone's individual freedom when the only thing that they're really concerned about is like, okay, um, am I going to be able to take care of my family? And they prioritize that more. So yeah, right now you see in China, they're all like, oh, down with the CCP, down with Xi Jinping. Hey, great message. But at the end of the day, CCP is just going to be like, okay, what? You know what? All right, we'll roll back all the PCR testing and, we'll kind of stimulate the economy a little bit, let you guys go travel a little bit, and then everything's going to go back to normal. Like nothing is going to change,
The thing is, I mean,
right?
you're
Look
saying
at,
like let people be free. Like the concept of freedom is constrained by your own viewpoint. And if they're never gonna
yes,
like if they control the narrative, they control what people can see. And
yeah.
to what you were talking about,
Oh,
Anto joined, and Anto, I think we were talking about this earlier. You might have joined after Mark even said it. Like literally, they were blurring out the stadium in the World Cup about the mask.
yeah,
So
they're
yeah,
blurring out the
Anto
stadium.
brought
Yeah.
it up in here too. So I think he joined right after you mentioned that earlier. That to his point exactly that they got to control like if they hide those
Hmm.
things, like you don't know what you're missing, right? Right?
Yeah.
You don't have a clue. So, and then they look and all they see is people doing silly TikTok dances and running around like, not working, and which is true what's happening. And you see people like nobody wants to work in the States right now. I can speak to America.
Hmm.
Like I even had this conversation today. Like people are getting paid $25 an hour to go at
To stay at
McDonald's
home.
or whatever. No,
Yeah.
no, to be like if you want to go work at McDonald's, $25 an hour, or Dollar General and just be a cashier, or stock shelves at Walmart for 22, 23, $25
Yeah.
an hour. It's over $50,000 a year. That's an insane
Yeah.
salary. I know inflation and all, but still, that's a very good salary to go in and all you're doing is putting cans and boxes on shelves. Like, okay,
Hmm.
match up the barcode. Okay, it goes here, right? Nobody
Yeah.
wants the job. They won't even keep it. They don't even show up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the problem with the West is it's 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 years and years of lack of drive and motivation because I'll be first to say my generation, the millennials, we screwed us all with our stupidity and with our socialism. We screwed us all. Not I mean, we compounded it with like a lot of other snowballing effects, but instead of being better, we chose to be worse.
Well,
Yay us.
it's cyclic, man.
Um,
If you look at
but
the what's the book called, The Four
but like
Generations,
but yeah, it's the fourth turning.
the fourth
So
turning. That's what it
so
is. Yeah.
yeah, so what so but what you see is now you see actually if you look at even like political charting, Gen Z is actually slightly more conservative than my generation. So what you're getting now is like younger people, like my brother's age and my little sister's age, looking at my generation, and be like, you know what? They're really not cool, and I really don't want to be like that. So what you're seeing is way more younger people are more motivated to go and make something and do something for themselves than people that are my age. I see so many people who are my age who are kind of like, you know, they just they just out here, they just out here, right? But I'll take a good example. Random guy Kev, young guy, right? And he's out here, he's out here doing stuff,
Hmm.
right? Where are the people from my age group out here doing stuff? You know,
I love Kev, man. By the way,
Nowhere.
I love Kev a lot because it was
Love
really
Kevin.
cool to see Japan through his eyes. Because we get there and
Yeah,
he's like, "What's this food?" And we tell him, he's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Just eat it, bro." He's like, "You told me what it is." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll eat it." And after like a
yeah.
day up there, he's like, "Look,"
Discovers that he likes
he's
it,
like,
right?
"Look, don't even tell me what it is. Just like give it to me." And he's like, "This stuff's so
Yeah,
good," and like, I don't even want to know what it is.
yeah,
Like he goes, and
yeah,
like he is so, but he's the exception to the rule. He's someone that is like,
yeah.
cool.
Exactly.
I want to learn new things. I want to do new things, and more. I think more and more people are going to open up that way. But seeing Kev
Yeah.
getting out and
You know,
doing
Ho
that
Chi
was so
Minh,
awesome.
I tell you why a lot of young people don't like doing labor work is because no one has taught them the value of it,
Mm.
right? No one has taught everybody since you're a child in Asian culture, right? They always tell you what stupid people do labor work, right? Uneducated people sweep the streets. Uneducated people gotta clean the bathrooms. But turns out these trade jobs are the best paying jobs. They're
They're
stable,
not
they're really
status
good
jobs.
paying. Yeah, they're not status
That's
jobs,
the
but they
problem.
really pay,
Yeah.
right? And no one tells these young people this. They always tell them, "Oh, you gotta go to college." And it's the same thing in Asia, and it's the same thing in the U.S. They gotta go to the college. They gotta go to college. You gotta go to university. You gotta sink your life into a bunch of debt to get this degree that you're gonna come out. And I say this to all my friends in Hong Kong. You guys are going to Hong Kong. You're going to put yourself through school for what? For a design degree? Hong Kong has too much supply, not enough demand. And none of y'all want to go work in China. Fair enough. But then none of y'all want to leave Hong Kong. And then you complain and you cry and then you get all depressed because you don't want to do anything and you get yourself sunk into the situation. Hey, and this happens to young people all over the world, right? What happened to our go get it, right? Our go get it attitude, being young. Like, dude, I'm not even young anymore, okay? Like, I'm turning 36 next year, okay? And you got 10 years over me, Jono, but still, like, I'm not young anymore. But yet, I always try to tell people my age, I'm like, look, I'm still out here trying to do this is my last adventure before I have to settle down. If not, it's too late for me. And it's not just too late for me, I have a responsibility to the producer, right? As a responsibility to my parents and to my family because, I'm the eldest and I have expectations that I have to live up to as well,
Yep.
right? But at the same time, I feel like if I don't go do something, how can I tell other people, motivate other people to go do something when I'm sitting on my butt?
Yeah. You can't be the person preaching and not doing. And I
Yeah.
agree with you there that the trade skill. I'm looking at chat too. Like
Hmm.
Stu said, plumbers are rich. For real, there's such like I was watching
Yes.
Mike Rowe was talking about this. Said for every
Mike
like,
Rowe.
yeah, Mike Rowe was saying like for every one plumber or one skilled tradesman that retires, like for every like I said for every two, I think it was either two or three that retire, only one come in. Like it's shrinking, and these are skills. These are things that you have to learn by doing. And this used to
Yes.
be, if you go back in time, being a blacksmith, a plumber, a
Yes.
trade skill, like being a part of a guild was a
Carpenter,
huge deal.
electrician.
It was
Yes.
a big deal. You were part of these guilds. You were looked at highly, like, oh my god, this guy's a wood carver. Like you a stone carver, a mason. These were jobs that were highly sought after. But in the past 100 or not even 100 years, like 75 or 80 years, they've been looked down upon since the advent of the
Yes.
widely available college degree, which is, I will tell you, absolutely worthless, with the exception of you're going to do something that's like a professional, I call a profession, like engineer, lawyer, doctor, etc. Right? You have to have those things. Like you
Yeah.
have like that.
Yeah.
Then higher education is a must. You're in medicine, you're in engineering, you're in well, those things you have to. There's no doubt. But I think the only modern day
Yeah.
trade skill we
I
still
mean,
have is computers. That's it.
yeah. Yeah. But then at the same time, it goes back to like if you have an IT skill, you got to get out and go explore the world, man. If
Yeah.
you're in Asia with an IT skill, I'm sorry to tell you, you're a
You're
dime a
done.
dozen.
You're done.
You're a
Man,
dime a
if I
dozen.
could,
There's too much supply, not enough demand in Asia for IT workers. That's why like working an IT job here is like minimum wage,
yeah, it is. And I'll tell you, the
you
best
know.
thing you can do, honestly, in life, and this is the secret to, if you want to open a restaurant, food, or sell an item, or whatever you want to do, it's simply this. Look at the needs, try to bring a solution from somewhere else to a different market that doesn't have it. And the world's getting smaller, so it's a bit
Yeah.
more challenging, but it's not that hard.
Hmm.
All you have to do is bring a
Yeah.
solution from this area of the world to solve a problem in this area of the world,
Yeah.
preferably one that has more wealth that you can
Hmm.
take, and then you live in that area, you bring back, you support the economy you live in. That
Hmm.
matters, right? Like
Yeah.
you live in that area, you live a more frugal life because you can, because the cost of living is lower, but you take from those areas. So you find something that's valuable in to sell or service provide in the States or whatever, you do it there, and you provide it from here in Asia, let's say. That is a great
Yeah.
way to do it. Otherwise, you absolutely can do a trade job. Trade jobs are fantastic,
Yes.
but trade jobs you
Yeah.
need to scale. The thing is, you can't just be the plumber that runs around. At some point, you only have so many hours in the day. You have to be able to scale that business and grow it into something bigger and own that business if you want to do well, like extremely well. But even if you
Yeah.
don't want to and you're fine with it, just save your
Hmm.
money, be good. You can make very healthy income being a plumber. I got a friend of mine, he's an AC guy.
Yeah.
He does air conditioning, HVAC. Dude is rolling in money, lives in a fantastic neighborhood. It's got multiple kids, send him to great schools. Like, you look at him, you're like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I fix air conditioners. I crawl around people's attics and under their houses. I'm like, huh? But super awesome dude of mine. I'm finding out his name's David.
Yeah.
Killer dude. Has forgotten more about HVAC than I would ever even begin to start to know. And it's just one of those skill sets, like
Yeah.
to fix air conditioners. But man, he
Hmm.
makes a ton of money. He's just willing to do the freaking
Yeah.
work. And that's the difference.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, we all. I think there was a book out there. It was about like the false promises of being in middle management, and that's what
Ugh,
really kind of traps
I did
people,
that.
right? It's like the death of people's drive is middle management, right? You're in this some supervisor role or assistant manager role or even like a manager role. You do nothing. You're a glorified gatekeeper, you know, as middle management. And that's why I always say, like, that's where ideas go to die, middle management,
Death
right?
by pivot
And I
sheets,
think
man.
that's
Death by pivot
yeah,
sheets. And if you know what a pivot
that's
sheet is,
because
you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Or pivot table, sorry.
yeah.
Pivot table. If you know what a pivot table is, you know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, pivot
Yeah.
tables.
I mean, yeah, you need to have some work-life balance, go find a hobby. Have a hobby and then go do your job. Do what you're good at. Sometimes what you're good at is not what you enjoy, right? And I'll give you an example, right? I've discovered that I was quite good at writing, like say product description, copywriting, right? Do I enjoy it? No. It's like one of the world's most boring things to do. I hate to say it, guys. Like on Red Wolf, look, I managed 90% of all the product pages that you see uploaded up until I left. You know, turns out I was actually really good at it. I talked to our SEO guy at the time, agreed. And I didn't, it wasn't something that I enjoyed doing. It's something that I was good at, but then I played football. So it kind of kept my sanity in check, right? So, just, yeah, you guys got to go do something that, you're good at and then go find something that you enjoy. It could be anything. It could be eating food. It could be, going swimming.
Yeah.
It could be playing airsoft.
Yep. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But man, that's the good point. I mean, it's a bit of a rant, but at the same time, for someone who is stuck, I think you and I are both stuck in bad spots for a lot of things, professionally,
Yeah.
personally, and finally getting unjammed from that. I will happily take a day of stress running my companies, freaking out about balance sheets and supply chain issues and 1,000 problems before I go back to being middle management and having to deal with that garbage that I've done before.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah. Yeah, man. So
So,
yeah, for real.
huh,
So
Yep. Ho Ching Young needs research on air. Yeah. Basically do that and just buy a bunch of the stuff that Mark's company sells and put it in it.
yes,
That's it. Super easy.
yes,
Take that and
that's
then
it.
throw all their junk in it, and then you'll have an awesome product. And I'm dead serious. I know it sounds so stupid.
Exactly.
I'm not joking. For real, if you got the coin, because it's not cheap, but it's the best, get what you're talking about. Go buy all the goodies from them because it fits freaking perfectly. Throw it in there. Quit being the, oh, I'm going to buy this brand and whatever. We'll just start slowly. You don't have the coin. It's fine. Start with valves, start with floating valves, start with the springs, start with like the striker valve, start with like the basic
Yeah.
stuff and start with the seal at the top of your mags, the things that will help your compression and then an inner barrel. It's like slowly add them. You can do it $30 US at a time, you know?
Yeah. If you, I would say a good place to start. Would be the inner barrel first, because that thing, you get it, it'll last like forever.
Bucking.
You know,
Get you a bucking and inner barrel.
you know, I think like because the bucking is quite cheap, so like if you're kind of a little on the tight side, get the inner barrel, and then the next thing get the bucking, and then you can get the super crazy hop up dial that it can allow you to turn 4 turns. It's like the 540-degree hop up dial.
But
that
it
we
lets you
have.
fine tune everything.
Insane.
It lets you super
Yeah,
fine tune
yeah,
your
so-
shots. Yeah.
Get that one if you want to. Again, like if not, inner barrel bucking must. After that is the gasket and the valve.
Yeah.
And then almost you're pretty much golden.
Yeah.
from there.
You don't need to go wild. So. Yep. Oh, and we didn't get to your story, but that's okay. It's a little late. We'll save your story for next week.
That's good. We're gonna say that for next time.
Yeah,
for
because it's a
next week.
good
Yeah.
one. And I know we did talk. We got a bit much on a rant about a lot of things in life, but it's good. Next week we will promise you this. We're gonna. This is why you need to tune in next week. We're gonna start with Mark's story, and I'll give you a hint. It might involve Yakuza. That's all we're gonna give you.
And karaoke.
And karaoke. Okay, and karaoke.
Yeah.
So Yakuza
Yeah,
and
there you go.
karaoke
We'll give you these
that
two
may
hints.
or may not be mutually exclusive of each other, but they're part of the same story. So if
Yeah.
that's not a reason to show up next week, then I
That's
don't know
right.
what is. So
That is correct. Oh yeah.
Jay,
my
you will see
God.
us at MOA. I will be there on. In fact, I was getting some chats from another company that's exhibiting there. He's like, "Hey, you gonna be there?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, he was asking what day. I haven't replied yet. I will be there doing my filming at MOA on Friday. I'll be doing the first day. I might be back there the rest of the weekend if I don't get enough filming done, but all my production work's gonna be done on Friday. So
I'll be there in spirit. So
yeah, so.
whatever that means.
I've been getting some hot takes on some new releases, and I'm excited. There's some really good looking stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, Anto, just wait. What?
It's
Join
okay,
next week.
Anto,
Join next
yeah,
week.
you-
You didn't miss the story.
Yeah.
The story's
You
happening.
didn't
next
miss
week.
it. You didn't miss it.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
next week. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
It's coming.
it's gonna happen next week. It's gonna
It's a
be.
good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. So I think that's pretty much it. We can wrap it up here for the day if you want. I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, we can wrap it up here. I actually have another call that I have to make.
I know. Yeah, you got to do that. And man, I've been up since the crack o' dawn. I'm literally gonna like throw a shower on this thing real quick, make it be even, and just head right that way to bed. So
Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna go that way really quick.
good. All right. Well, everybody,
All right.
thank you so much for joining us. As always, we love having you here. It's so much fun. And if the 50 Cent Army doesn't come take us away, we're gonna be back next week with our white paper.
Hey, 50 Cent Army, you guys got to take your PCR test, okay?
Yeah,
Just
take your,
do
yeah.
PCR
You
test
can't
first.
even.
That's
Yeah,
it.
can't even come here. Hey, they're talking about dropping the mask requirement here finally on the 1st, potentially outdoors.
Finally.
Finally, I know, right? Like the next to last country in the world. Anyway,
No, it's okay. Hong Kong will have theirs till the end of time,
Yeah.
so it's all good.
exactly. No, they got to take it off because they do face recognition. They have to eventually take it off. Anyway,
Yeah,
no more conspiracy
yeah.
theories. Oh my God, we're gonna get onto it again. Let's stop. Let's stop. All right, everybody. Thank you so
Where's,
much.
where's my tinfoil?
Yeah, tinfoil hat. By the way, check out season 2 of what is that show called? Oh my god, I just drew.
Inside Job.
Yes, Inside Job. It just came out. I watched the whole season. Oh my god, it's so good. Watch Inside
Yeah,
Job.
I haven't watched it yet.
Season 2 is good, man. They stepped up their game.
I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, all the inside jokes, so good. So good. Anyway, check it out. It's on Netflix right now. So that's like 8 episodes. Totally worth a watch. So, all right, everybody. We'll see you all on the next show next week. And then we'll talk about our schedule once I get to the States because it'll get a little wonky when I'm there. So, but Mark and I'll work something out.
It's the end of the year, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work out what the schedule is going to be and keep you updated so you're aware. So,
yes.
Anyway, see you guys and gals.
Yes.
Good luck out there, and we'll see you next week. And until then, Mark.
Stay hopped up.
There you go.